Peter Gabriel with Road to Joy. Welcome back. It is the Country Viewpoint here on your colour of country life, Flow FM. Well, it's time to talk about the Australian Grain Leader program in 2024, and we're going to be profiling a number of the participants, and one of those is Jack Langley. He's from Narrandera, one of our Flow FM network areas, of course, in southern New South Wales. Jack, lovely to have you on the program, and congratulations. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, Els. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
Perfect. Well, Jack, let's find out all about you. So you're a Narrandera local and you've got a legal background, Jack.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm part of a fifth-generation merino sheep and cereal cropping property, about 15 minutes north of Narrandera. But my day-to-day 9 to 5 is working as a solicitor in our local law firm here in Narrandera.
All right, well, let's find out all about what this means. So tell us about the program for those who haven't heard about it. I'm sure there's still plenty of listeners who might not be quite familiar with what this is. So it kicks off next year. How did it all come about for you, and what will it mean for you?
Yeah, so I actually attended the Innovation Generation conference last year that's hosted by GrainGrowers, and it's something that GrainGrowers does annually, of which they have some young people, typically aged between 24 and 35, that look to do a grain leadership program. And essentially, in a nutshell, from what I can tell, it essentially works by giving us the opportunity to founder and learn some new leadership skills, and also do a project of interest, of which I'll be working within the field of succession planning and issues within the workforce.
Yeah, succession planning is an interesting one. We've looked at that on Flow FM over the last couple of years. Tell us more about that. So is there a lot of services out there that are, I guess, providing awareness as to how critical that area is? Because we know that it's just going to become more and more important, particularly in these times, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's more services that are coming about of recent time. However, it has been something over the last numerous decades that really hasn't come to light. And I think it is so important to make sure that we all map out our future. At the end of the day, we're operating multi-million-dollar enterprises with numerous family members and different opinions that we all hold. So the ability to map it out and work out where everyone's future sits is so helpful just for the end game and how the business continues to operate.
And just tell us more about the farming community of Narrandera. It's been a very volatile time, Jack, as you'll note. Floods just a year ago or so, and now we're looking at a really dry season. So what are the sort of main issues on the ground there with regards to farmers? Yeah,
definitely. So with Narrandera, obviously climate is one of our biggest concerns and always will be. We've had quite a decent year in some areas. It's been typical stormy weather up here, and some people have had yields that have been reasonable, others have had average years. But our biggest concern, Narrandera is right on the entrance into the Murrumbidgee irrigation area, and there are concerns with the water buyback scheme that the government's looking at, and also issues just in relation to how cereal croppers will be able to manage that into the future.
That is Jack Langley. He's based in Narrandera, telling us all about the 2024 Grain Leaders program. We'll continue this conversation on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. Pink with Runaway, and welcome back. It's the Country Viewpoint here on Flow FM, and we're talking all about the 2024 Australian Grain Leaders program with one of the participants, and that is Jack Langley. He's from Narrandera. Now, Jack, you've obviously got a very strong farming acumen. I just wonder, as a young person, how do you juggle all this? You're obviously working in a very busy industry in the legal industry, and you've got this real appetite for what's happening on the land as well, Jack.
Absolutely. I think if you enjoy something, you're keen to give everything a go. And from my position, I love my background of farming, and I really love where I work, and being able to speak to everyone that you have such passion in it makes the days go, while they go really quickly, at least you get to enjoy them and spend every minute, I suppose, breathing it. So from that point of view, yeah, if you enjoy it, I believe you're keen to always give it a go.
And why don't you just tell us a little bit more about the history of your family with regards to the farming side of things there, Jack?
Yep. So my family, I'm the fifth generation on our farm, and we've grown the farm over time, but we essentially do 50-50 between cereal cropping and merino sheep. So our family's always been entrenched within the local community, and I think it's something so great when you can walk down the street. There's people that you know, and it makes it so much easier with the different industries and organisations that you get to deal with the business, whether that be Nutrient Ag Solutions or Elders. But at least you have that network of groups behind you that means that your industry and your operation can, I suppose, be so much more successful.
And the sort of feeling that I get just from speaking to a number of people in your area, Jack, is that it's a really sort of bustling and thriving agriculture industry, and the community is very tight-knit as well. There's a lot of people sort of, in each other's pockets, if you like. So just tell us about what it's like knowing that, you've got that, I guess, safety net there in the Southern Riverina, whereby everyone's kind of, looking out for one another.
Yeah, definitely. Everything's so close-knit. Everyone shares the same opinions, and I think that makes such a big difference with essentially having a voice, that everyone shares the same kind of viewpoints. And if there's any issues that one person's suffering, it seems to be an issue that most people are suffering. And being so close-knit and being able to talk through those issues makes such a difference. And it's just all these small towns, all these regional pockets, anywhere such as Narrandera or Leeton or Deniliquin or Griffith, anyone that surrounds us, at least we can all voice those opinions, share in the same kind of thoughts, and be supported by the organisations that are all around us.
And just politically, do you feel as though the politicians within that electorate are sort of more in touch with the everyday person than some of the other politicians in Canberra, if you like, Jack?
Yeah. It's always going to be a difficult one. We're such a diverse area, and everyone does have issues that we all reach out about. I think from our position, we're very lucky on both a state and, I suppose, federal level that most of our voices are heard. However, obviously there will always be concerns as to how those voices are heard and dealt with, I suppose, within our government. It would always be nice to take priority, and I sometimes think agriculture naturally sometimes takes a back seat compared to other industries. But we are very fortunate in some stances to have politicians that do sometimes listen to our voices, that's for sure.
And if I was to throw you a crystal ball, Jack, what would your long-term sort of pathway look like, do you think, from this point?
Yeah, absolutely. From my individual point of view, I love being able to facilitate succession planning and also know that we've got such a great agricultural property in there with the family that both will be able to run together and continue doing what we're doing. And hopefully, alongside GrainGrowers and the leadership program that should be undertaken in 2024, that leadership skills can be built, and hopefully a future with potentially grain boards and things into the future.
Jack Langley is based in Narrandera, and he's one of the participants of the 2024 Grain Leaders program. Lovely to profile you on the airwaves, Jack, and we really appreciate your time. All the best with everything going forward.
Fantastic. Thanks, Alice. Cheers.
Jack Langley, he's based in Narrandera, and he's one of the participants in the 2024 Australian Grain Leaders program. More to come on the other side of this. It's the Country Viewpoint on Flow FM.